Hey guys, it's Gaz. Welcome to the Warframe video. So today we're going to be doing another loadout video, just like the one I did with Mesa Prime, where I'm going to be showing you a build for the frame, and I'm also going to be giving some suggestions on weapons and companions to bring with that frame to whatever mission you would bring them to. So today we're going to be going over Revenant, who I've been playing a lot lately, and I've been having a lot of fun with him actually. When he first came out, I was kind of like iffy on if I wanted to play him regularly, but he did get a few buffs. And now that I have a good understanding of what all of his abilities do, I've been having a blast with him, honestly. He's really safe to play in normal missions. He's a really good solo frame. You can solo like every sortie in the game, basically, with him. I don't really like the solo interception sorties, personally, though, because they're kind of just a pain in the butt. You need to be at like 4 places at once. So I wouldn't suggest soloing those sorties, but if you got like a boss fight, a defense mission, whatever, you can bring Revenant there and have a pretty easy time. So yeah, let's quickly go over what his abilities do. I'm not going to give every little detail on them because there's a lot to them, but I'm going to give you the general scoop on what's going on. So, first ability is a mind control that starts out as single target, and unlike Nyx's mind control, your allies and yourself, you can kill the enemies that are mind controlled by your first ability. So, you mind control one guy. If he shoots other people or other enemies, they will also become mind controlled. And there is a cap at 7 enemies that can be mind controlled at once, and that is not affected by mods. So the most you can ever have mind controlled is 7. Okay, so also if the enemies die while they are mind controlled, they will release like a area damaging other enemies that get near it. Let's quickly display that. So his first ability is pretty good. It synergizes with his other abilities as well, and it's honestly like really convenient compared to Nyx. Like, with Nyx, you'll mind control a guy, and until you deactivate it, they like the defense mission can't go an additional wave. But with Revenant, if your teammates see a mind controlled guy, they can just insta kill him. So it's basically like really nice if you're able to use it, especially because it works on 7 enemies at once. Let's unpause these guys and get 7 of them, and the entire group of them won't even be able to attack me. Okay. So see, he's going to attack that guy. They're attacking my dog instead. There we go, that guy is mind controlled. So we have about 35 seconds of duration on this build. And see, like, they're not going to attack me right now. Look how dumb these enemies are. So we're going to kill them, they're going to make the area of damage. See, that guy just ran into it, he's getting smashed right now. Even when he's mind controlled, he can get hurt by the damage of these areas your ability leaves behind. So that's a really good ability. It works on bosses, so if you're in like a sortie boss fight, that's where I actually found out that I really liked Revenant. I was doing a Till Rigor sortie boss fight mission solo, and basically all of Revenant's abilities work on Till Rigor, so I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. I need to like refine my build for this guy. So yeah, it's really easy there, because the boss won't attack you and you can attack him very easily. Okay, his second ability is called Mesmer Skin. So this is a kind of similar-ish ability to Iron Skin for Rhino. So depending on how many charges you have that many instances of damage that will be negated and reflected back at the enemy. So at base, it's 6 instances of damage you're reflecting. And when you reflect that damage, it's also stunning that enemy for a duration. So with our build, we have some power strength, and it gives us 10 charges. The weird thing with this ability is you get like fractions of charges, and that will make it so it's displayed as 0 on your HUD of how many charges you have left. So you need to do some modding to make sure that you have enough full charges that it's worth the slot you're putting in there. So I could put like more power strength on here, but like I was getting like 11.98 and stuff like that, and I think 10 is just a nice safe number to look at, because you can recast this. If you get pretty low on charges, you can recast it again and go back to full. Okay, so let's quickly try this out. So these guys are going to hit me once, and they're going to be frozen. Okay, see, that guy just got stuck. So per enemy, there's like 7 enemies here. So there's no way they'd be able to kill me, because they're going to get stunned before that even happens. Okay, they're stunned for about 7 seconds, I think it was. And when they're stunned, you can just kill them very easily. So that's a really good ability. It also has some nice stuff that's not mentioned in the tooltip for it. So The reason that his second ability is really good for a lot of different situations is, well, let's just show it right here. So I'm using the Phantasma, which is Revenant's signature shotgun. It does self-damage on the explosion. We have our Mesmer Skin up, and you can just use self-damage weapons, no problem. You're going to go to 2 health every time, and it's not going to take a stack from you. So what you can do is just run around a mission and just like spam self-damage projectiles, which usually have very high damage, and not worry about it, because the enemies won't be dealing damage to your health at all, so it doesn't even matter that you're at 2 health, because you'll have those damage mitigation stacks of your Mesmer Skin. When it starts to get low, you just recast it, and you're good to go. Another nice thing about your Mesmer Skin is when you combine it with your third ability, you can actually give it to your teammates. So, see my dog right here? I'm going to use my third ability, which dashes you forward. Okay, so now my dog should have some energy tentacles on him. They're kind of hard to see. That is not what I meant to do there. He has like an energy field around him. He now has a charge of my Mesmer Skin, so he will negate 1 instance of damage, and it will stun the enemy that shoots him. Additionally, enemies stunned by your 2 can be mind controlled for no energy, which is really nice, because this is a pretty energy hungry frame. I'm going to recommend an Arcane Energize set if you were to use this guy. So he's stunned, mind controlled him for no energy at all. So yeah, really nice. Let's quickly go over start ability, even though I briefly mentioned it, what it does there. So it's basically a dash forward that you can control. You can also use it during your fourth. It will drain the health of enemies, and it will drain their shield. But if they don't have shields, you're not going to be getting any shield back from them. So that's only basically useful against the Corpus, the shield drain part. So this actually has very nice scaling damage. It is affected by enemy armor, though, from what I've been able to tell. So let's just do this group of butchers again. So I'm going to, this is how much damage we get if we don't mind control them first. That's what was on their health bar, like, not that much. But if we mind control them, we're gonna do a lot more of their health bar. See that guy? See, that was almost like a one-shot. It was more like, it more like would have been a 2-shot, because it has 68% of their health. So that's really nice. If you mind control an enemy and dash through them, it scales really well. Let's quickly see what that looks like on a heavy gunner with a lot of armor. And we don't even need to put invincibility on right now, guys, because we have our Mesmer Skin, which negates damage. See, she shot us. She's basically like useless now. Okay, we dash through her. Whoa, it's actually not affected by armor. Okay. Very nice. That's a level 160 heavy gunner, just 2-shot casually by us dashing through her while she's mind controlled. And we were in no danger at all there, guys. So, yeah, his 2 and his 3 combined are amazing. I mean, you actually have to combine his 1, 2, and his 3 to get those kind of results. So she's mind controlled. Dash, you can actually dash through her twice in the same dash if you move your reticle fast enough. So we went through her, we turned around and went through her again, and she's just dead. Okay, let's quickly go over the fourth. We won't be using the fourth a ton with this this build, but it is fun. So his fourth is Dance Macabre. It basically just turns you into a ballerina of doom, and you shoot lasers all over the place. And the damage type is adaptive, so if it senses the enemy has armor, it will become corrosive damage. If they have shields, it will become magnetic damage. If they have health, it will become gas damage, which is all pretty good modifiers against what those damage types are, those armor types are. So we're going to use this. See, it's doing corrosive damage right now. You can hold down the trigger button to increase the damage, but also double the energy drain per second. So yeah, with this build, we can stay on that Dance Macabre for quite a while. And yeah, there's a couple of things with that. So while you're in your fourth ability, you can move around like this, but you can also use your third, the dash, while you're in here, and it lets you reposition very quickly while using the energy, the Dance Macabre. So if you activate your 4 in like one room and there's enemies in the next room because you already killed everybody in there, you can just dash through. Be careful with the edges of doors because you can get stuck on those, but yeah, it's really nice for just like being like a mobile laser turret, pretty much. There's a couple little things like if you kill a mind-controlled enemy with your 4, they'll drop an overshield pickup for you, which is fun. But yeah, you don't really need to use that at all, to be honest. Okay, let's quickly go over the build. Okay, so this is a build I started out with, it being melee focused, with a bunch of movement speed and just using Maiming Strike, but I've actually changed it to be a all-around kind of build. You can run Corrosive Projection. I just prefer enemy radar because the amount of damage I'm doing is just like murdering these enemies no problem. I don't really need Corrosive Projection, although you may prefer to have that. There's also Energy Siphon, Sprint Boost, lots of really good dash polarity aura mods. You have your choice if you have these, that is. I would definitely recommend Sprint Boost or Energy Siphon or Corrosive Projection. Like really, you have your options here, guys. So yeah, we got a little bit of sprint speed. So the reason sprint speed is useful here is because when you're using your fourth ability, Dance Macabre, let's quickly go take a look at this. So this is me just walking before I activate it. This is how fast I move. But if you sprint before you activate it, you actually get that increased sprint speed while you're in your Dance Macabre. So you were moving like, I want to say over double the amount of speed now. And sprint speed mods do affect the speed of you in Dance Macabre if you begin sprinting before activating it. So I found that useful. If we were to put Power Drift up here, we'd be getting about one more stack of our Mesmer Skin per activation, which I didn't find super necessary. So you have your options there as well. This is a pretty flexible build, guys, as long as you have enough power strength to be giving yourself enough charges with your Mesmer Skin to just stay safe, okay? So we have no defensive mods pretty much. Our power strength mods are our defensive mods in this case because it gives us more stacks than Mesmer Skin. We don't need Arcane Guardian, we don't need Arcane Grace, any of that kind of stuff, because Mesmer Skin will negate that damage. So we have Strike here, actually, just to give us increased melee speed when we hit stuff. We also have Energize, because he's pretty energy hungry, and we want to make sure that we always have energy. So, yeah, this will make it so we can always recast our Mesmer Skin to be safe. Okay, guys? As far as weapons go, we are using Phantasma, which is one of my preferred stealth damage weapons in the game. Just so we can spam those explosive shots. It's also got pretty good fire rate on the primary fire, which is good against nullifiers. We could go a corrosive build if we wanted to strip armor, but we normally don't need to do that. And gas is just fun, okay? So, yeah, 100% status build here. I have like a longer range weapon just for dealing with targets that are pretty far away. With the Arca Cisco, which is like a sniper pistol. To be honest, guys, this is me just wanting to justify keeping my Riven for this because I'm running out of Riven slots. But like any long-range secondary will be great. You could use a Rattleguts kit gun, that would be really good. Really, there's lots of options for it. You could even use a Tomb Finger, honestly, that would work great. Nell would work good, I guess, if you like the Nell. But I'm just gonna use the Arca Cisco for now because I don't use that thing a lot. And then as far as melees go, a Plague Polearm Zaw is going to be really good, but anything will be fine, honestly. I do like to use Maiming Strike on Revenant just because I find his Dance Macabre a little bit slow, and this is good for clearing rooms. It's got a ton of range, so we use Maiming Strike, and we use... you can use whatever Exodia you want to. I like Force, just because like this thing procs status pretty often, and it's going to give you a bunch of extra damage on enemies, which you don't really need, but, you know, you can have it. Okay, so, and then finally the Companion. I didn't really go over the Companion. This is a Sahasa Kubrao, which is the one that digs up stuff. So this will help me get more energy, because he'll dig up energy orbs, and then we'll possibly proc Arcane Energize off of that and get like another free cast of Mesmer Skin if we need that, okay? As you see, Kubraos take a lot of formas, so this isn't even a full build right now, but yeah, it works fine. Alright guys, let's quickly go into a mission and we'll show how this goes. Yeah, I like Revenant a lot. I don't really see people playing Revenant too often, which is understandable because he's not like the master of anything really. He's got really good scaling damage with his 1-2-3 combo, but there's a lot of circumstances that need to be met for that to happen like that. Mostly, that's not where I wanted to go. Mostly you have to have an enemy mind controlled, as well as you need to also dash through them, and that's not the most reliable thing. Mobile defense, Scuba Flood. Okay, that works, I guess. Another nice thing about, you know how I mentioned earlier, you can dash through enemies to give them a stack of your Mesmer Skin. That does work on defense objectives. It works on allies. I'm pretty sure it works on excavators too, in like excavation missions. So
You must
Yeah,
deliver payloads
really
and
nice
defend
ability
a
all
number
around.
of
If you're
locations
going in an
while approaching
arbitration,
them.
I went into a pretty long arbitration
Be
with
prepared
some
for
friends a
heavy
while ago,
resistance.
and I would just
I
dash
can't
through
do
them
this
with
without you.
Revenant, and it would make it so much safer for them, because
Those are the Queen's
they wouldn't have to deal
blades.
with,
What are
because
they
like
up
obviously
to?
like if you're playing a squishy frame like Ivara or something, you don't want to get hit at all in a arbitration. And I was just giving them a little safety net where I could
The resonance frequency has
dash
changed.
through them and they'd
You
negate
are onto
damage.
something,
Alright, this guy's my buddy now. Let's see if he
Was a
spreads the
juggernaut.
infection to somebody
They were
else.
lured
Yes,
out
you
by
are
the
mine
death
now.
of infested. They should go away or amp up the fight to draw it out.
We should be pretty safe here. I don't see us
Only
dying.
get more difficult. Get to a terminal and prepare for enemy resistance.
See, like, look how much that did to that Guardian. That's gonna basically kill every enemy in the game if you charge through them while they're mind controlled, guys. See, we're at 9 stacks right now with our Mesmer Skin. We are in no danger at all right now. Dashing through enemies also does restore some health. I did mention that. But the good thing about this build is you won't even really be worrying about your health, because you're going to have your Mesmer Skin up all the time, ideally. We can just spam our self-damage without danger at all. I must have ran out of stacks there. Whoops, that was dumb of me. Where is the dog? There it is. See, she just stunned herself by attacking me. You probably should have mind controlled her.
That worked.
So yeah, this is just like a little fun build. I wouldn't really bring him to an Eidolon fight or anything like that, or an orb. I have brought him to the orb before, just to see, like, when I was doing my my suggestions video for like top 10s and stuff. I tried him out for the orb, and I was definitely not impressed. It's really scary to play him for an orb fight because your Mesmer Skin stacks are your life. And yeah, you lose them very quickly in that fight because everything is shooting you, and you can't stun the Prophet Taker with your 2. So you need to yeah, basically just be constantly spamming. I actually put casting speed on my Prophet Taker build because you need to get that Mesmer Skin up, or you are dead in that fight. So yeah, let's try to dash through this. See if the energy tentacles appear. They didn't appear. See, it will show up with your energy color when you dash through somebody, and then it'll also show up on your UI saying that they have Mesmer Skin stacks, and you are successful in giving them some shield. But it doesn't show up for the defense objective, obviously. I'm actually curious how we died earlier, near that Kuva siphon. I might look at that footage later to see what happened, because I was pretty sure I had 10 stacks when I was just spamming my shots like that. But maybe it went down when I wasn't looking.
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
See, if they get close, I can just hit them with this explosive. Unfortunately, he has like no synergy of being low health, like Garuda does. Yeah, I'd say he's worth trying out. He's a bit difficult to get. You have to get his parts from bounties on the Plains of Eidolon, which, I mean, you'll probably be doing those bounties anyway, so maybe you even have the Revenant parts. I just know that his helmet is a bit difficult to get sometimes. I farmed it a lot the day it came out, and it took a few hours, actually. But yeah, that's just how this game is, guys. Things are difficult to obtain sometimes because of RNG. Alright, so we have 2 more objectives left. I think Revenant's been doing a good job here. Besides that one death, which was very odd, and I will be investigating later. But yeah, you can use the lens for as a self-damage weapon with Revenant. You can use the Czar. There's other self-damage weapons. I suggest the Czar or the Phantasma, but whatever you enjoy is great.
This will take a moment.
Okay, so we just used the Dance Macabre there for fun. It's got pretty good damage. These are the infested, so they're pretty easy. But so the damage area you get from his first ability is really not impactful at all. But it does look cool, and it like kind of feels like a safety net at lower levels. That if the enemy walks into there, they're going to take some damage. but it's not really like what we're using the first ability for. The first ability is basically just like a, I don't want to deal with the enemy button, is how I look at it. Okay. So yeah guys, I hope you're doing well in the year 2019. I've been having a good time playing Warframe, also playing some other games. I just started playing Apex Legends a couple days ago. It's a new free game. It's on all consoles, made by Respawn, who people who are behind Titanfall. It's pretty fun. It's not a game I can see myself playing all the time, but it's a fun like distraction while I wait for other things to come out in Warframe and other games too. Where are we going? Okay. Alrighty, so we got one more objective. Let's hope that we have no more deaths this run, because that was very odd earlier. Okay. Also, guys, whenever you're in this room, I suggest putting a waypoint when you get to the top of the stairs, because the way the waypoint system works is it will make that that staircase right there very confusing on the map. And so I've had people like in that room for like a good like minute trying to figure out where they need to go. So it might be nice if you're in a public squad to waypoint at the top of the stairs.
This will take a moment.
Yep. Dash through the objective just in case. Give it our stacks. Yeah, I don't know. I might get rid of this Arca-Cisco because I'm at 91 out of 90 ribbon slots right now. I need to make a spot, and I honestly don't really see myself using the Arca-Cisco very often. But I mean, it is a good weapon. That's like the reason I really am kind of like iffy on getting rid of it. It's because I do like the Arca-Cisco. I think it's a very underrated weapon, and it's got like really good range. It's got cool sound effects. They need to up my ribbon slots. I haven't been able to play the sortie for like 3 days because I'm so indecisive if I want to get rid of this thing or not. So that's a big problem for me. And I know I've talked to other people like the last couple of days who've been like, dude, I can't do the sortie. I was thinking about to give away an Arca-Cisco ribbon for free too, and I like the roll, so it's like kind of a big move. Yep. 2 seconds, let's find an exit. That's not the exit.
The odds were against us, Tenno.
So yeah, we didn't die.
Mission
We could just spam self-damage whenever we wanted to.
Multiple targets ahead.
You know what might have happened there with the death? Maybe I like proc radiation or something on myself. Maybe? I don't think you can really do that anymore, but that possibly is what happened there. Or maybe like a toxin proc got on me, I don't know. I was definitely at 2 health, so any amount of damage would have killed me there, but that doesn't usually happen. Okay, so I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I hope that you are enjoying Warframe. I'm going to say definitely give Revenant a shot if you have his parts, but I don't think it's really necessary to go out of your way to get him. If I was going to scale him on like a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say he's like a really high 6 or a 7, because there's a lot of missions you don't really need him in, mostly Eidolon fights and Orb fights. But I mean, he doesn't slow the mission down like Nyx or like Nova, where, like for example with Nyx, you mind control an enemy, and until you decide that enemy is not mind controlled anymore, the mission is slowed down. You can just kill his mind control targets immediately, so I really like that about him. But there are some situations you don't really want him in. But in those same situations, you wouldn't want a frame like Nyx or Nova either. So, yeah, he's really dependable. He's really survivable. He looks cool with the alt helmet. I don't like his normal helmet at all. And yeah, I hope you guys found this helpful as always. See you in the next video. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know any suggestions you have on a Revenant build. Because I know there's like lots of different ways you can build him. I have a couple slots on this build that are definitely open for experimentation. But from what I've been finding, this has been really good. Oh, another quick thing I didn't mention, guys. Hunter Adrenaline does not work with the self-damage from this. I tried it out earlier. I was like, oh, dude, that would be so cool. Like, you go down to 2 health, you don't die from your self-damage, you get Hunter Adrenaline on there, you get your energy back, you can recast Mesmer Skin, like, permanent invincibility, basically. It does not work on self-damage. I found that out. So yeah, you can maybe switch Stretch or Rush to personal preference. Alright, guys. Have a nice night. Peace.